हेलो डियर स्टूडेंट्स। नेक्स्ट वीडियो जो मैं आपको दिखाने वाली हूँ वो रिलेटेड टू प्लेटीहेल्मिन्थस है। और प्लेटीहेल्मिन्थस के अंदर वो सारे ऑर्गेनिज़म आते हैं जो ऑर्गन लेवल से ऑर्गेनाइजेशन होता है और जिनकी बॉडी जो होती है वो फ्लैट होती है, राइट। एंड उनमें जो सिलोम होती है वो सिलोमेट्स होते हैं। सो वॉच केयरफुली, राइट।
Kingdom Animalia, Phylum Platyhelminthes. The third phylum is Platyhelminthes, which includes flatworms, which are unsegmented bilaterally symmetrical worms. Flatworms show a definite level of organization. They are the first and the simplest organisms having an organ system. Flatworms do not have a definite skeleton, but have a cuticle which protects their bodies. Flatworms have a highly branched cut with a mouth, but the anus is absent. A muscular suctorial pharynx is present for taking in the food. Flatworms mark the beginning of cephalization. Cephalization is the development in the head region of light-sensitive organs called ocelli. For example, planaria have eye spots at the anterior end. Non-parasitic flatworms respire through their body's surface, while parasitic worms are mostly anaerobes. Parasitic flatworms bear organs of adhesion such as hooks, suckers, and spines. In flatworms, the central nervous system consists of a head ganglion connected to nerve cords which are interconnected across the body by transverse nerve connections. Excretion and osmoregulation in flatworms is controlled by the flame cells. Flame cells beat incessantly, resembling a flickering flame, and are hence called flame cells. Most flatworms can reproduce sexually or asexually. They are hermaphrodites, that is, both sexes are present in the same individual, except in the case of planarians, which are monoecious. The development may be direct, where eggs hatch into small tiny worms that resemble the adult, or it may be an indirect development where the eggs hatch into ciliated larval forms. Phylum Platyhelminthes is further divided into three classes: Turbellaria, Trematoda, and Cestoda. Class Turbellaria includes non-parasitic and aquatic flatworms which possess a great power of regeneration. An example of the same is planaria. Trematode, which is the second class, includes parasitic flatworms that live inside the host. These worms are commonly known as flukes. Examples of this class are Fasciola hepatica and sheep liver fluke. Flatworms which belong to the third class, that is, Cestoda, are known as tapeworms. All tapeworms are internal parasites. As the anterior end of their body, the scolex, they have suckers and hooks for effective anchoring to host tissues. A good example of this category is Taenia. The most primitive flatworms resemble the planular larva of coelenterate in their structural organization. Majority of flatworms are endoparasites and cause diseases in humans, sheep, goats, dogs, and other domesticated animals.
Dear students, next video you will see about the phylum Nematoda and phylum Annelida. So watch carefully, right?
The fourth phylum is Nematoda, which includes roundworms. Most roundworms are free-living, but others are endoparasites, which are found in plants and animals. Nematodes show a bilateral symmetry. Their body is cylindrical, unsegmented with tapering ends, while the head and appendages are absent. Nematodes have a small body cavity called pseudocele, which is formed directly from the blastocele. The body wall is formed of a strong, flexible, non-cellular layer of cuticle. Near the body wall, under the epidermal cells, are the muscle fibers that run longitudinally. Nematodes move by the contraction of these muscles. The body consists of a series of compartments in which certain structures are serially repeated. They exhibit organ system level of body organization. They have an unbranched gut with mouth and anus. The nervous system consists of a ring of nervous tissue around the pharynx with dorsal and ventral nerve cords running the length of the body. In nematodes, sexes are separate and they show sexual dimorphism. The male is smaller than the female and its posterior end is curved. The best known example of this phylum is Ascaris, a roundworm, which is an endoparasite and causes a disease named ascariasis. This disease is common in children and its symptoms are weakness, anemia, vomiting, etc. The fifth phylum, Annelida, includes about 10,000 species of true segment worms. Annelids may be aquatic or terrestrial and are mostly found in soil. Annelids have a soft, elongated, cylindrical worm-like body, which is externally protected by a thin, elastic protein cuticle. The body wall is made up of soft, circular, as well as longitudinal muscle fibers. All annelids except leeches have chitinous hair-like structure, called setae or kitty, which project from the cuticle. These are locomotory organs. Annelids exhibit metameric segmentation. That is, their body is divided into segments, which are fully visible externally as rings. Internally, they are separated by septa, and each segment consists of certain structures of body systems. Metamerism increases the efficiency of the organism's body movement. Annelids show an organ system level of body organization. The internal organs of annelids are well developed. Annelids have a closed, segmentally arranged circulatory system. The digestive system of annelids is a complete tube with a pharynx to swallow food, a stomach or gizzard for the storage and grinding of food, and an intestine. Respiration occurs through skin, gills, or modified parapodia, while for excretion they have specialized excretory organs called nephridia. Each segment typically contains a pair of nephridia. The nervous system of annelids is made up of a pair of cephalic ganglia connected to the solid ventral nerve cord with segmental nerves. Annelids can be hermaphrodite or monoecious, that is, Unisexual. Larva may or may not be present, and if present, it is a trochophore larva. Phylum Annelida is further divided into three classes: Polychaeta, Oligochaeta, and Hirudinea. The first class, Polychaeta, includes marine worms with numerous pairs of chaetae. Nereis is an example of this class. The second class is Oligochaeta, which includes freshwater worms. They have only a few chaetae to each segment. Earthworm is an example of this class. Earthworms are beneficial to agriculture, although they may sometimes damage young and tender plants. They are good friends of a farmer as they continually plow and manure the soil. Birds, lizards, and frogs feed on earthworms. The third class is Hirudinea, which includes solid and liquid feeding annelids. Chaetae are absent in annelids of this class, but on which they feed, they have suckers at the anterior and posterior ends.
Hello dear students, next video is related to Arthropoda and phylum Echinodermata, so watch carefully with all characters. Right now I'm playing
Echinodermata. Of all living phyla, Arthropoda is the largest phylum with more than 9 lakh known species. This is the oldest and most biologically successful group. Arthropods occur in all habitats, almost everywhere in the world. They are bilaterally symmetrical, segmented animals. The body of arthropods is divided into the trunk may be divided into a thorax and an abdomen, as found in the case of insects. In some animals, such as crabs, the thorax fuses with the head, and thus their body is divided into the cephalothorax and the abdomen. The body of arthropods is covered with an exoskeleton made of chitin, which is very hard. This exoskeleton is shed periodically in the course of their growth, and the process is known as ecdysis or molting. Arthropods have an open circulatory system. Their body contains a cavity called hemocoel, which surrounds the body organs. The heart pumps blood into this hemocoel so that the blood bathes the organs. The respiratory organs found in arthropods are gills in aquatic forms, while trachea or book lungs in terrestrial forms. The excretion takes place by coelomoducts or by Malpighian tubules. The nervous system of arthropods is well developed and is like the one found in annelids. It consists of a cerebral ganglion attached to a pair of ventral nerve cord with the help of a nerve ring surrounding the pharynx. Arthropods also show the presence of an endocrine system. Insects communicate through pheromones, which are secreted by the endocrine system. In arthropods, the sexes are separate. They are oviparous in nature, which means that they lay eggs. Scorpions are an exception to this fact, as they are viviparous. Arthropods have well-developed sense organs, such as antennae, to perceive sense of touch, a statocyst, an organ of balance, taste receptors located in their feet, and photoreceptors in the eyes to perceive light. Phylum Arthropoda is divided into 5 classes: Crustacea, Chilopoda, Diplopoda, Insecta, and Arachnida. Class Crustacea includes a wide range of animals, mostly aquatic. They show great variation in form and the presence of carapace, exoskeleton, and compound eye. Some examples are Daphnia, water flea, and Astacus, crayfish. Class Chilopoda includes centipedes. Their body consists of numerous pairs of legs. There is always one pair per segment. They also show the presence of a pair of poison claws. Class Diplopoda includes millipedes. Their body consists of numerous leg-bearing segments with 2 pairs of legs per segment. Class Insects is the largest group of terrestrial animals. They occupy every possible habitat. They have an extra ability to adapt to changes in the environment. Their mouth parts, such as mandibles and maxillae, are modified for various modes of feeding. They show the presence of pupal stage, that is, an incubation stage in their life cycle. This stage survived during unfavorable environmental conditions. Some very common examples of insects are ants, cockroaches, mosquitoes, and butterflies. Arachnida, the last class under the phylum Arthropoda, includes spiders and scorpions and is known for 8-legged arthropods. Their body is separated into a cephalothorax and an abdomen. Arachnids breathe in through book lungs or trachea. Most of the flying insects act as pollinating agents and help flowers to cross-pollinate. Arthropods, such as crabs, prawns, serve as delicious seafood which people like to eat. But several insects are serious pests that destroy crops worth billions of rupees. Termites cause damage to timber, houses and furniture. Fleas and mosquitoes spread diseases in humans and animals. For example, mosquitoes are vectors of malaria. The last phylum that comes under Invertebrata is Echinodermata. Echinoderms are marine organisms living at the bottom of the sea. The phylum includes starfish, brittle stars, and sea urchins. Echinoderm adults are radially symmetrical, but the larval stage shows bilateral symmetry. They exhibit organ system level of body organization as it is differentiated into oral and arboreal surfaces. They do not have a proper circulatory system, but a water vascular system through which the sea water circulates in their body. This system opens into the tube feet, which are used for locomotion and food collection. Respiration occurs through gills or papillae, protruding from the dermis or by the tube feet. In echinoderms, sexes are separate. The development shows the presence of a ciliated bilaterally symmetrical, free-swimming larva. The basic larval form of echinoderms is Diplurula larva. Phylum Echinodermata is divided into 4 main classes: Asteroidea, Ophiuroidea, Echinoidea, and Holotheroidea. Class Asteroidea includes starfish. Their body is flattened with 5 radiating arms. The life cycle of starfish shows the presence of Bipineria larva, which develops into a starfish through a process. The second class, named Ophiuroidea, includes brittle.
Uroidea class. We will see in next video. Till then, bye bye students.